Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about React and going to talk about the theory, and we're going to uh, do a MERN stack project, a MERN project, simple project. Again, I'm not going to focus more on writing the code because actually there is no use of writing the code, learning or memorizing the syntax or learning how to write code anymore. Yeah, it's all about understanding the why this works and understanding how it works, understanding the concepts in 2026. So I'm going to focus on that, and we're going to write a simple code later on. So this is the React fundamentals for beginners. And what is React? Simple explanation. We can use the analogy restaurant kitchen. Let's say imagine you're running a restaurant, okay, and let's say React is actually the kitchen staff. Components is the individual chefs, each one has a job. State is like the whiteboard with the current orders. Props, recipe cards passed between chefs. UI is like the final plated dish. Okay, so this is actually a great example. Okay, so without React, before we in order to do basic things like this one, for example, document.getElement by ID .inner this one, okay, we used to use, this is plain JavaScript, okay. We use this to access the elements. Okay, we type this ID on each element IDs, and we call them by the IDs and try to manipulate them by this command. Okay, like this was before, which is complicated, and every time something changed you rebuild everything. And yeah, so this is why we have React simplifies this stuff for us. So we just update the data. React handles the kitchen. We don't have to worry about many things. Like for example here, set menu, new menu. This React update the menu display automatically. Set order, new order. So the idea here is that this is actually use state. Okay, it's a hook, React hook, and we use it to preserve the state of this variable, for example. Okay, so why React? React is actually, we will talk about this in detail actually down. So why React? React is actually a JavaScript framework. Okay, it only updates, it has benefits, like it only updates what changed. This is the difference between JavaScript and React. So React updates only what changes, like a chef only cooking new orders. Okay, and it's predictable, same data equals to same UI every time. Okay, reusable, one chef can make many dishes. Okay, so the components are like the building blocks, like another Lego block. Let's say we have a Lego block, and just like a Lego block, we have components, right? We use the same block many times. This is reusable, and we combinable means we put blocks together, self-contained. Each block has its own shape, right? That's the idea of components. Okay, for example here, let's say we have here welcome, right? Function welcome, this block always shows hello. Okay, this is just a normal function. Okay, and we have another component here, building with the block we have here. So what I will do is, like, I'm adding this function here, I'm using this block, same block again 3 times, shows hello 3 times. Okay, so I have reused it 3 times, this block. Okay, so that's the idea of components. It doesn't have to be on the same page actually. You can put the components into different pages. Okay, into different pages, and call it from any other page. Okay, using the name imported and call it. There are two types of components we need to focus on. Function component, this is the modern way, use this one. Okay, like this function greeting, this is how a component starts. Okay, and we have one more here, class component. This is the old way, you will see it in legacy code. Like before we were using to create a component using classes. So always use functions, components for new code. So before moving on to the next step, I think we should demonstrate this one. Okay, talk about, show you how it is. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. Let me type cmd here. I'm going to go to desktop, and I'm going to make one directory here. I'm going to call it simple React project. I'm going to go to that simple React project. Okay, and I'm going to install the React. You can use npm. There are two ways to install React actually. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Okay, when you type here React.js, okay, and this is React. Okay, we go to React here. Let me just close all these tabs, we don't need it, so let me just close it all. Yeah, and let's give it some time. And we have some running code here, we don't actually need to run it. And yeah, so this should work actually. One second, let me just try to do this. Yeah, so basically this is React. React is a library for web and native user interface. Okay, so it creates user interfaces from components. React lets you build user interfaces out of individual pieces called components. Okay, create your own React component like thumbnail, like button, videos, then combine them into a entire screen, pages, and app. So whether you work on your own or thousands of other, React feels the same. It's designed to let you seamlessly combine components. So React components are JavaScript components, JavaScript functions. Okay, want to show some conditional use if, displaying list, use array, and we'll talk about this as well. And yeah, so let's just go to learn here. Not learn, I want to actually install the React. We can just go to get started here. If you go here, quick start, you're going to see this stuff, but I think we can go to installation here. So we will see installation. We have, okay, there is this was one way of installing React actually. Create npx create next dash app the latest. Okay, no, this is actually for next JS, but to install React React from scratch. Yeah, so if your app has constraint, okay, so build common. Yeah, actually we can just use this command and that's it. It's going to work. The Vite is a build tool that aims to provide a faster, linear development experience for modern web projects. Okay, so Vite is a rich ecosystem. So this is the best way of installing React actually. And I'm going to use my app as well, and then yeah, or let me just create here npm create invite at latest, and you have to hold, yeah. So now I'm going to create here frontend or anything, you can name it anything. This is your React project. And framework, I'm going to use React, and I'm going to use JavaScript. Variant, no, yes. So now we have this page, okay, and we can access, we should be able to access actually it run the page, but I can just go to cmd here, cd desktop, and cd simple React project, and I'm going to go to cd frontend, or no, just code dot, so that it will open for me the Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is the front end, and I can just go to the first thing I should go to package.json. Actually, I'm going to check, make sure everything is okay here. Script, the name, and the version, and yeah. Okay, so let me see why it's not running here. Yeah, it's running. So the code is actually working. You can see it open for me the page, the main React page. Okay. If you didn't see this page, you can get there by going to this folder, the folder that we created, and on CMD on the terminal you can just type here. On the terminal you can type npm run dev. Okay, so it will run for you this one. Okay, but for now we don't actually need this. Let me just remove this one, and I don't need this one. Okay, so I'm just going to use rfce. Okay, and this is a shortcut so I can get the basic structure here, and I'm going to say here hello, just to test. Hello. Remove this one below, save it, and just put it back, save this one. So yeah, it's here. This is actually hello that we write, but it's at the bottom because actually there is a styling here we don't need. You can go to index.css, remove it, and it will be fixed. Also same thing with app.css, actually we don't need this stuff. So this is the styling. And one more thing we need to install, actually we need to install Tailwind CSS. Yeah, this is actually a framework that helps us write CSS code inside the main file, like inside any components directly, and simplifies the CSS for us. So to install it, all I have to do is just type this command, open inside the terminal, go to cd frontend, let me just go to frontend and type use this command. And once it's done, actually we have to just give it some time. Okay, So next I have to go to void.config.ts here and copy this line and put it here, and copy this as well, and I'm going to comma here, put it, Control V, I put it here, save, and I have to copy this one, import, and I should put it inside index.css here and app.css so that we can be able to use Tailwind CSS inside our code. To confirm, we can actually try to type this Tailwind's code. This actually is just telling increase the size of the text to 3XL and put the font bold and add underline. So just so we can test to confirm that this is actually working, let me type here class, and I type here equal, and I'm just going to paste this one, save it. Yeah, see, so it's working. So now this is done. So I'm going to show you how components work. Okay, so basically a component is just a file you create here. For example, let me create a dashboard component here, .jsx. okay, I'm going to type RACE. okay, here I'm going to type welcome to dashboard. Okay, so see, this is a dashboard component. Now in order to access, I want to access from this main to display it here. So I can just type here, I can import dashboard, actually use import here, and type dashboard, okay, from .dashboard here. Okay, and here all I have to do is just type here dashboard / close, and I was able to access welcome to dashboard, right? So basically this is the idea of we can import it 3-4 times, it's going to work. If I type here again, it's going to display welcome to dashboard. Okay, so basically the content is not in my main file, it's just in the dashboard file. Okay, this is the idea of component. I can have multiple components here, and yeah, so let's continue. And this is a function component. Yeah, so this is actually a function. Forgot to tell you, this is actually a function. This is an arrow function. If you remember from our JavaScript course, this is actually an arrow function. Okay, this is just like this function. This is the same as this one. Function dashboard, and yeah, basically this is the same. Okay, this and this is actually the same. Okay, except that this way in React we usually use the arrow function. Okay, so let's save this one, and yeah, we go to JSX. What's JSX? JSX is just JavaScript plus XML. Okay, combination of two. JSX is like the recipe card that mixes instructions JavaScript with ingredients HTML. Okay, this is what JSX looks like. Okay, it's actually JavaScript like this. It looks like HTML, but it's actually not HTML. It's JSX. It's completely different. Yeah. So this one, this basically when I go here, so this is actually JSX. It looks like HTML, but this is JSX. Okay, That's why if you notice here, when we create any file, we type .jsx, okay, not .html. So yeah, these are the few rules that we must follow, and JSX rules must have one parent. It has to have one parent. Okay, means like, let's say I'm just going to copy this one, okay, and I'm going to paste it here. See, it's not even going to allow me to do that. It's going to give me an error. JSX expression must have one parent element. Must have one parent element. It might work if I just add the parent here like this, add div here, and put the closing div down. Now it's going to be okay. It's going to work because I put it inside one parent element. So this is a rule in JavaScript in JSX. Okay, you can't have more than one parent element. Only one parent element. This is one example. 2 items at the same level. So this is an error, right? Because it's returning 2 items. This is one parent element. This is correct. Even better, use empty tags, no extra div. Yeah. So let's say we don't want to use this div. Okay, there is an option in React. We can just type this one, opening and closing here. You can just cut this and paste it. Okay, this also will work. You don't have to use div just for the sake of just to satisfy this rule. You can use open and closing this one, and it will also work. Okay, and JavaScript goes in curly braces. Yeah, this is one idea, one concept that we need to understand when JavaScript goes to curly braces. It means like this. Let's say I type here const is title. Okay, I'm going to say the title is avatar or whatever, right? It's going to give me title is declared but its value is never read. That's okay because I didn't use it here. So I'm just going to open here any div or whatever here, or make it h1. Okay, I can use curly braces here and just type here title. That's all I have to do, and I can get the value of this one to display on the page. Like here, you see this avatar. Okay, so yeah, by using curly braces inside the JSX, you can display anything. Okay. We can use camel case for attributes. We have to use camel case. HTML class becomes class name, and button handle click, and on click goes to on click. So basically what this means is, let's say we have let's try button. Okay, I'm going to use a button here. I'm going to add a button here, and I'm going to add here click me. Okay, I'm going to use on click. Okay, this is this is how we do for buttons. On click means like I'm just going to say handle click. I'm just going to create a function here. Okay, function const handle click equals to I'm just going to use arrow function here, and I'm going to say return or just alert. I want to use alert actually. Alert. The button has been clicked. So basically, and I can just put here handle click. Okay, so basically what this will do is let me try it here. So when I click this button, it's going to open for me a pop-up saying the button has been clicked. Okay, this is what we call by events. On click is what we use. Means I'm just saying when someone clicks this button, run this function. Go to this function, and this is the function. And function has to be written outside of the return actually. Yeah, before the and alert. So that's why it's working. Okay, and remember this is a beginner mistake. Don't try to call the function here. If you add this brackets after the function name, it's going to run it after render when the application renders. Okay, that means even before the button is clicked, it's going to run. Let me show you an example here. I refreshed it. Let me save it first. See, it's automatically running. When I refresh, it's running even if the button is not clicked. So this is actually a mistake. You shouldn't use this one. You should just leave it like this, and use camel case. Camel case means we start with the beginning word, we use small letter, and then second word we use capital letter. On click. Attributes are anything that comes after the element here. Okay, you have to use the camel case. Okay, and props are like recipe cards. Okay, props are like recipe cards passed from head chef parent element to line cook child component. So what are props? Props are like okay, let me just go through this one and I will show you how it is. Okay, parent component. So basically we use props to pass our arguments, okay, to other components, okay, to the child components. Like for example, here we have welcome name John, right? Here's a recipe for John. Welcome name. So this is a prop. Okay, I'm passing this one, and inside welcome component I'm going to name it props. Okay, I'm going to use it as props. Okay, so it will return for me hello John here, hello Bain, hello, based on what you pass in the front end. On the parent component, this is a parent component, this is a child component. So I'm passing John as props to the child component. Okay, so there are modern ways of destructuring props. We have instead of props.name, we can use prop and we can just take props out directly. Yeah, like name and age, like this. Okay, instead of using props like this one, I can just use the name and age. Okay, they paste it there and it's still going to work. Okay, so props are read only. Okay, that means read only. So never do this. Props cannot be changed. Yeah, the props cannot be changed from the child components. Are for reading only. So let's play around with props now. Okay, now that we understand what props are, let's just play around with props. Okay, so what is props? Props, okay, I'm going to assume this is my parent element. Okay, dashboard is going to be my child element. Okay, so I want to pass to dashboard the name. Okay, I'm going to say John, whatever, and I'm going to pass to dashboard the role also. In my role, I'm going to be like an admin. Okay, so we don't have anything here, so I'm just going to create the name here variable, or you can use let, it doesn't really matter. We don't actually need to declare anything, just let's see here. So now all I have to do is go to dashboard here. Inside dashboard, I'm just going to say here the name, comma, and role. Okay, and so welcome, I'm going to write here name, welcome, welcome the name, and comma, your role is, I'm just going to type here the role. So basically I'm just passing the name John and role here to them, but we need to check it out. 1 second, let's open the browser here. Yeah, so you see it's telling me welcome John when I refresh, and it's giving me the admin as well. Your role is admin. Okay, and you can pass, it doesn't have to, you can pass different roles for different, like I can type here name, and yeah, it doesn't really, yeah, name, I can say here Sam, and role is user. So he will have a different input here. You see here it says John, here it says Sam. So this is what we call about props. We just pass arguments to child components. Okay, so yeah, and you cannot modify it from the child component. Actually, it's not going to work. Yeah. So state, let's move on to state. State is actually, let's see where we are right now. Yep, half an hour already. State is analogy, the chef's notepad. Okay, state is like a sticky note in the chef station. They can write on it, update state. They remember what's written. State persists. When they write something new, they prepare a new dish. UI updates. There's few things we need to remember. State persists. Okay, and updates the state. So we have one good example here. Okay, so you see this one, use state returns the current. Okay, so we have count here and we have set count here, right? And use state starts at 0. Okay, so here we have an increment function. Okay, so basically whenever this button is clicked, it's going to call this increment function. Okay, this add 1, so it's going to add 1. So this is right now it's 0, right? And when someone clicks this button, is going to be 1 again, 2. Yeah, and it will keep doing this. Okay, every time set count is called, React automatically updates the UI. So set count is used to update the count. Okay, this is the function to update the value. This is the current value. Okay, that's why we use it this way. So visualizing state change, like initial render, the state was 0, right? Initially when the page was loaded, but UI show also 0. But when the button is clicked, set count 1, it updates the state. React re-renders automatically. UI shows count equals to 1. Okay, let's say you have multiple states like this one. Okay, you have name, age. Okay, for text state, age for number state. You have is active or set is active. For boolean state is false. Hobbies for array state. You have different types of states, right? And you can just use we can use here input value name, and on change e dot set name, e dot target value. Okay, the name is John, is this year's old. So these are the rules for the state. Okay, we will do this. We'll just go through this quickly, and we'll, yeah. So the idea is never modify state directly. This is rule number 1. Okay, that means const items, set items, use state A, B, and C. Okay, so this is so basically when you use items.push D, this is direct mutation. React won't know how to update. You shouldn't update it directly. You have to use, if you want to make any change or update to this state, you have to use this one. Okay, this set item, like this set anything that kind, yeah. You shouldn't use this one. This is actually basically an array built-in method so that you can add items to the array. We shouldn't use this one. We should use this one, yeah. So let's say you want to create a new array, then update. Okay, you can just use this one. Okay, and yeah, and update this one. So state updates are asynchronous. That means yeah, still shows old value. To use new value, use the function form. Use the function form. Okay, set count, previous count plus 1. Previous count is guaranteed to be the latest. Prev count is guaranteed to be the latest. Okay, so you see this one here. Yeah, if we run this code, it's still going to show console count is still going to show the old value, which is 0, even after the button is clicked. Okay, but if you use set count, prev count is equals to prev count plus 1. Okay, prev count is guaranteed to be the latest. Okay, we're going to try this actually. Let's go ahead and show you what we can do with states. Let me just take a break. Okay, let's tell you where were we exactly. We were on yeah, we were talking about states actually. We were talking about trying to do something with states. So let me try to do something with states here. Okay, let me do it in up.js, because actually we don't need this anymore. So we don't also need this one. So I'm going to do something here just to demonstrate what actually state is, what it does. I'm going to do one example using use state. This is actually a very important concept, and you will likely use it multiple times. So let's just let's do counter here. Count set count, okay, is equals to use state. This is the syntax, right? This is the example that we wanted to do. So basically what we are going to do is yeah, we're going to create a function here to let's use the arrow function, const increment the counter, but I'm going to make it add both increment and decrement actually. And yes, yeah, so I'm going to type here, it's supposed to set count, it's supposed to set count actually count +1, right? So we need to put console logs just so we can see how it works and what exactly happens. And Control C. Let's add this here and let's just make this one decrement. And I'm just going to put this one minus. And I'm going to add a button here. Button and on click. I'm going to add here increment, and I'm going to say here add, and I'm just going to copy here and paste this one. I'm just going to change this one to make it decrement, and you can just put minus here if you want. You don't actually have to put add and minus here. Yeah, we can just add here, put span here. I think we can. Let me try it out if I can put span inside here. Oh, we don't need to use that actually. We don't need to, just keep it simple and do it this way. And here I can just add count here, display the count so we can see exactly how much is the count. And let me save this and see what's the output exactly. No, what's the output we are getting? Yeah, I want to style it up. I want to go ahead and give this better style. No, class, see class name. I'm going to style the button first. I'm going to make it BG black. Okay, and the text I'm going to say white, and actually instead of subtract make it, or put it, no problem. And size, font, no, actually I can just make it like this. Text, I'm going to say 4 pixel, and I'm just going to copy this one. Control C. I'm going to put it here, and actually this text, I think we should just put it inside the. Let's see what we will get first of all. Yeah, it's fine. So let me just put the text here, copy, class name, yeah, and I need space actually between them, so I'm going to say space x4, I think. Copy this one. Let's see if it will give me the space that I need. So giving me the space. It's okay. Let me just mx4. I'm just going to Control X here, remove this one, put it here. Yes, remove this one, put it here. Yes, so, and padding inside the button, I want to add p equals to, give it 4. Also here I want to put 4. Yes, and yeah, want to add it inside div here, just so we can see properly what exactly we are going to do. I will put it inside div and class name flex justify center justify line no justify center. Just going to put it, yeah, I'm actually going to call it like this for now. Just leave it like this. See, yeah, it seems to be it's working. Yeah, so this is just a counter application, a counter demo. So see how it works. Let's just save this one. Okay, let's see what's actually is happening. So basically what's happening is, let me go here. No, not page source. Let me check the inspect console. Okay, now when I increment, I'm getting 0. You see this one? When I go ahead and type this one, I'm getting 0 still. When I increment again, I'm getting 1. Here is 2. Okay, yeah, you see this delay. Let's try to do it like if we use priv. Yeah, but the idea is just like I told you, like what if we use priv count, and we put here priv count minus 1, and this is the, yeah, so this is how it works basically. Yeah, this is how it works. Okay, how the state works. So whenever we click increment plus button, it's going to this function and updating the increment and incrementing. Let me try another example. I want to do actually using an input. I'm going to use an input here. I'm going to use input value here. I'm going to type on change. Okay, I'm going to say E, and I'm going to say set name. Okay, we can just make it name because I'm going to change actually the entire thing here. I'm going to use something else, name, and set name here. Name, this is a string, so I'm just going to use it this way, and I'm going to change this one, make it set name, and I'm going to type e to target dot value, and this is an opening closing tag, and only issue is that here trying to do this one. Actually, we don't need to do this one, just put this way, and the value, it's going to be the name. So basically whenever there's a change, we have to update. Okay, on the field, okay, the name field here, we can just type here the name here. Whatever you type here is going to be dated to the this is a simple example. Let's see. Okay, just put this one inside the div, so to separate it and to add some styling to it, and we'll just add here place class name, and I'm just going to give bg gray color, and border I'm going to give it a border so we can see. Yeah, and this is the input. Actually, this is for the input, but for this one also we need to put something on the for the name. Border equals to 1, I think. There is no 1, there is 2. Yeah, it is actually separated here and B. Yeah, I want to make it separate actually. Right now it is because you put it inside the same. We don't have to do that actually. We can just make it separate here, and we don't need this styling. This div, make it on separate styling, and so save this one. Yeah, so basically and yeah, I'm just going to put here widths 3, height 3. No, let's keep it as it is. That's fine. Just for the demo, for demonstration purpose, I'm going to put the label here, label, so we can see. I'm going to say name here, and yeah, and yeah, so basically this is the idea. Whenever someone types here anything, okay, it's going to display on the top here, because we're using name here, so because it's displaying the state, and we're doing this by putting the name on the value and setting using edo_target.value target. So we can use this one to set. We don't have to display it. I did it just to show you, but we can use it also to set a temporary field. Like we can add more here, name, age, and stuff. We can put it temporarily on the state here, name or age, the use state, and then use it to send to the database or somewhere else, yeah, to edit fields, form values, and stuff. So basically that's what we need to understand about states. Hooks is analogy superpowers. So hooks are like React gives your components. It's like superpowers. React gives your components. So we have use state is equals to memory power, remembers things. Okay, that's what we were practicing now. Use effect is time power, do things at the right time. Okay, so use context is like telepathy power, share thoughts across component. Actually, there is the use context. Actually, context. We have something called context API. Context. Yeah. Let's finish use effect first. Rules of hooks. So these are very important. So rule 1: only call hooks at the top level. Okay, same like this one. Hooks has to be at the top. okay. And like this one, for example, here I can't put hooks inside the end condition, inside any if loop, if or for loop. Okay, this is wrong. You can't put it inside loop or inside if statement. It has to be at the top, like this one here, and at the right at the top level. Okay, use effect right at the top. The same thing goes with the use effect. You can't put it inside. It has to be at the top level. Okay, it cannot be inside the loops. It cannot be inside ifs and stuff. And only call hooks from React functions. Okay, hooks can be called only from React functions. This is right. And custom hook. Okay, yeah. So use effect basically is like a sous chef. It's like a sous chef who handles tasks. When a restaurant opens component mounts, prep ingredients. When the menu changes, independent update special board. When the restaurant closes, component unmounts, clean up. Okay, so the idea is, yeah, when we put a use effect here, okay, we're just saying run once when the component loads. That's it. Okay, whenever the component loads, run this code once. Okay, what's inside the use effect? Usually it's a call from an API, fetch data call, right? So that's what we are saying. If we specify something inside this, if there is an empty array here. If there is an empty array, it means run once when the component runs. But if we put anything here, we can say like run only when there is a change. Like here, for example, pattern 2, run when something changes. Here we have user ID, right? Set user ID, set state 1. Okay, user change to set. Okay, so here this use effect will only run when the user ID changes, because we put user ID inside the bracket. Okay, that's the difference. Here run on every render. If we don't put any array, it runs after every render. Okay, component renders if we don't put there. And cleanup, like closing connection. Use effect, set timer. Cleanup function runs when a component unmounts. Okay, prevents memory leaks. Like you can type here clear interval and prevent memory leaks. Cleanup. So real world example, for example, here we have user list. Okay, we have 3 states here: set loading, set error, set users. Okay, so basically when the component loads, start loading. Okay, and fetch data from the API here. Okay, success, if it's success, save data and set the loading to false. And catch, show if there is an error. If it's you put empty array, means it will run once when the component mounts. If loading, run loading. If error, show error. Then return this one. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do now is just going to try this one. Okay, but let me just pause this one.